Most people know what 3D printing is, but what people do not know is that 3D printing is just a branch of CNC technology. The exact meaning for CNC is computer numerical control, which basically means that these are machines that are operated using computer software. This is done by attaching a microcomputer to a tool and inputting instructions. This is mainly used in industry, where manufacturing is a big part of it. A huge plus for CNC technology is that it's much more precise than normal manufacturing. This way, things can be done correctly and consistently. For example, building cars or car parts, when using CNC, the code will be put into the machine and it will run the same process, building the same exact part every single time. What makes it work is that it can work on all three axes, X, Y, and Z. This means the machine can cut, place, or mend in any direction.
There are 5 types of CNC machines. These machines can do many different types of things, but first we're going to start with identifying these types of machines. The 5 and 6 axis machine, lathe machines, milling machines, plasma cutters, and laser cutters. 5 and 6 axis machines print along 3 perpendicular axes and either 2 or 3 rotary axes. These machines are usually designed for volume machining of aluminum, steel, cast iron, and model making materials. Lathe machines are used for production of 3D shapes and molds as well as automatically programmed tool changes. This is done by carbide tips cutting an object that is spinning really fast. A milling CNC machine is the most popular kind of CNC machine and are used predominantly for drilling and turning metals. The cutter in a milling machine is able to move along multiple axes and create a variety of shapes, slots, and holes. Plasma cutters use a plasma torch that is programmed for cutting 2D shapes and molds. Laser cutting CNC machines have the same type of use as plasma cutting machines. The only difference is they use a laser to cut.
As you heard before, 3D printers are an extension of CNC machines, but where common CNC machines cut, 3D printers build. 3D printers take three-dimensional computer models that were fabricated from a computer software and then builds them onto a flat surface, which is a timely process. It builds the model by breaking the object into thousands of tiny layers and then rebuilding it from the bottom up one layer at a time. The common design for a 3D printer is a cube-like housing rigged with stepper motors and a user interface, all connected to a motherboard. These motors are connected to the printer head by either belts or threaded rods. The belts move the printer head horizontally and the threaded rods move it vertically. The printer head is the central point of the motion from the motor and is where the filament is extruded from to create the layers. The printer head works much like a hot glue gun, where the filament is forced through the back and out through a heated nozzle. The heated nozzle turns a solid filament into a semi-fluid, which allows it to bond together as it prints to form a single solid object. The filament is extruded onto what's called the printer bed. The printer bed acts like a flat canvas for the printer to print on. Some models have heating elements incorporated into the printer bed along with motors. The motors are used to move the bed much like they do with the printer head. The heating element is used to secure the build to the bed with certain types of filaments. The printer bed is also coated with a special non-slip coating, allowing the print to be removed without damaging it.
Now, we are going to look into the actual process of 3D printing. As you can see, the 3D printer can move in all 3 directions. The filament is coming out of the nozzle and building the object. Notice how this printer has 2 filaments and can present 2 different colors when printing. Columns must be made for where there is overhang on the object because the 3D printer has to have a base to build up from. Since the filament comes out hot, it sticks to the printer bed and must be detached. Next, the columns can be easily removed using a knife or a pair of pliers. Then, after the removal, a torch can be used to smooth out any kinks or flaws in the design. Printing can be a long process because this time lapse took over 110 hours to complete.
Last several decades, there has been countless of technological innovations that have had a major impact on the world. From the projects like the bowl presented before to a house being built with a 3D printer. 3D printing technology advancing in this prominent way, it is safe to say 3D printing is far from its limits.